Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for joining these, I would say, special events where basically we meet together Amazon and Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore as, I would say, career day. Today we will be me and Margherita presenting a bit more about Amazon World, I would say, and what we are looking for, so giving to you an overall on who is Amazon, what is doing, and what are our focus, and what we would like to have in terms of people, of course, to support us in growth and making our customer happy. So just as I was saying to you, just a quick introduction. This is Ettore Falconieri, and I'm an ITES AVS team lead for products that are computer, monitor, and tablets. And here we do have Margherita. So please, Marghe, join me in presenting yourself.
Ciao to everybody and welcome to this nice event together. I'm Margherita and I'm currently an AVS responsible for the home entertainment world, meaning TV and soundbar. And currently my role is the brand specialist and e-commerce manager role. So before explaining now, I will deep dive into this later on.
Perfect, thanks, Marghe. So going to the agenda that we will have for today, as I was anticipating, we will give to you an overview on Amazon, and then we will switch to an open roles description. So we will speak to you about what kind of open role we do have. Then we will share with you our open or better personal experience. And eventually you will be interested in applying for Amazon to open position. Maybe how does it work, the recruiting process, and of course at the end we will leave to you the possibilities to raise questions, of course, to receive replies. Just getting a bit in our work, as I think that more or less everybody knows we are Amazon. So we are a company that is, I would say, the most customer-centric company. So our main concern or better goal is just to ensure that our customer will be happy and will be able to find whatever products they are looking for whenever they want or wherever they want. So basically people can find on our website and discover anything they want to buy online. For us, there are, I would say, three main topics that are very interesting and important for us that are driving our day-to-day job, I would say, which are selection, price, and convenience, of course. Those three are the main aspects that will support us to make our customer happy. Just a quick update or a quick information on Amazon. We think that we are the best employer or the best place to be as employer, and I would say the safest place to work in. So we are considered around the world like this. Then into detail of what we are doing and what is our focus here in this slide. Basically, you see our rules. So what we do daily. So it's a cycle that for us drives growth, and it's called internally like the flying wheel. Just let me explain a bit better how to read this kind of draft. So for us, as I was saying, it's very important to have selection, to have a huge amount of selection that, of course, will increase customer experience. And customer seeing and knowing that Amazon has all the selection that he's looking for will increase, of course, traffic. The increasement of traffic will drive the increasement, of course, of customer and vendor and sellers, basically third parties that are using our marketplace to sell their products on Amazon, will increase. This will drive our growth. So we'll support our daily task and our daily job to, of course, make our customer happy and increase the growth and that growth year on year. So this is the base for us to, for sure, drop the cost structure that we are facing into our daily job, and of course to lower price. This, of course, is going to flywheel and to increase the customer experience, because customer will be able to find whatever they want at a lower price, and we will be able, of course, to be sustainable and to have lower costs in terms of structure. Then just a few words more about, our business and where we are, what kind of business we are generating. So as you might know, we are present basically in 20 global marketplaces. We do have 185 countries where basically we are present and where we are trying to make our customer happy. And we are managing more than 30 categories over all the world. Just speaking about few more numbers, I will say that we are trying to be able to make more than 300 million worldwide active customers. Thanks to our service. And another important aspect that being in Amazon, I can really see is that we are not just making our customer happy and generating revenues, but we are working in order to improve our life and the customer lives. Our life, I mean, of course, employment side and of course, customer side. So just to let you know that more or less we are investing more than 30% of the revenue that we are generating into fulfillment, marketing, and of course also in technology that support us to be efficient into delivering products to our customer in the ATA communicated to our customers. Then we will switch to the overall that we do have in Amazon in ET. So basically, we actually have a lot of position, but it goes around two main kind of job or two main kind of position. The first one is going to be the brand specialist. What does a brand specialist? The brand specialist is the one that support a vendor that has direct relationship with a vendor that may be whatever vendor. It could be Apple, it could be Lenovo, or HP, or Samsung. And it will support the vendor in order to increase those 5 key metrics that we do have, which are, as usual, selection. So basically, for us, selection is very important. So selection has to be there in order to make our customer happy, and of course to also to increase revenue. So to have the customer happy and to be sure that we are able to make also vendors happy, so brand happy. And then of course to increase traffic. So the brand specialist, the person that is able to understand and to take all the action in order to let the customer find the product that we are giving to the marketplace, to Amazon.it. Then, of course, he has to do a work. He has to think and to act in terms to ensure availability and, of course, operation efficiency. So it's right that it's important to have the selection to increase the traffic, but of course, the brand specialist has also to support and to ensure that the stock that we are proposing to our customer are available in our warehouse and available to be shipped to our customer. Then we do have, of course, conversion. So about conversion is something that the brand specialist has to support the vendor to manage the product page. So how the product has been described into the detail page, images, how we could improve, of course, the communication of the product to the customer in order to, of course, convince the customer to buy the product X instead of the product Y. And of course, the last area that is very important is business advice. So trying to support the vendor, which, as I was saying before, could be a vendor in personal computer, or could be a vendor into a different area, which could be like consumable, to develop a strategy, thanks, of course, to the expertise that the brand specialist has, and how the brand specialist achieve those expertise, of course, working in the company and trying to understand what kind of role and I would say, mechanism support the growth of the vendor. So basically, those are the main activities that, or the main goal that the brand specialist job or the brand specialist scope has to do during our daily job. Then another important aspect, just to give you also a bit of context of what kind of interaction the brand specialist will have on a daily basis, apart from the vendor side, from the customer side. So internally, the brand specialist, we will have, of course, the chance to interact with product manager, with category leaders. So that basically are the person that are managing the whole category. So for example, the whole category of personal computer or the whole category of I would say cosmetics. Then, of course, advertising. So we'll have the chance to speak with the advertising team, trying to support the team in order to build good strategy to increase the visibility of the product, maybe creating banner or maybe creating a clear path for the customer to convert from seeing the product to buy the product. Then we do have interaction with vendor managers, e-stock managers, marketing managers, finance, because of course the brand specialist is going to be also the one not only giving suggestion and giving tips to the vendor that wants to sell to Amazon, but also he has to manage the P&L of the brand and the P&L of the product that we are selling. So all those kind of finance and FinOps aspects are important, and of course will be seen from the brand specialist into the customer aspects. Then, of course, there will be PR, legal interaction, and also operation. And the other part that is also funny is the HR side. So differently from other company, also we do have the chance as employee to make interviews. So we are the one that we are looking for our colleagues. So we will be the one that will be into interviewing people, trying to understand if that person is the right person for Amazon and for our leadership principle. Then we do have also another position, different one, but more or less we do have more positions which are around business and development internship. So we are speaking about internship differently from the first one that was brand specialist. So basically the internship of course, is a time where the intern has to as the main responsibilities of building and understanding how customers are reacting to our activities, customer pain points, and potential value that can be delivered by advertising or merchant services, and identifying targets account using marketing data and industry intelligence, or learn and understanding how the advertising services are moving around the vendors, or identifying opportunities to improve our products, services, process, and systems. And of course, interacting with a lot of team that are the ones that we are seeing before, in order to support our successful story, in order to support maybe our events. That could be Black Friday, that could be Prime Day, that could be all the events that we are trying to organize for our customers. Then I will say that those are the two main area, or the two main, I would say, open position that we do have actually in Amazon. Those positions are between, I would say, Italy and Spain. But the base will be in Milan or eventually Madrid, whenever there is going to be somebody that is able to speak very well in Spanish. As requirements, of course, we do have, like, in terms of language, the person that, or the interviewer, or the employee, the person that would like to join Amazon has to, for Italian office, has to speak, of course, in Italian, and of course has to know English, because into our daily job and daily task, we speak each other in English. So it's important to have both of languages in our portfolio, let's say. And also, on the same hand, for Spanish team, or for Spanish, I would say, interviewers, we would like to receive and to have clients for Spain, coming from people that knows, of course, Spanish and English. That's it. So those were the position that we have. Of course, there will be question and answer later. Then I would like to share our personal experience because it's important to share with you who is Amazon, what kind of position do we have, but of course also our point of view in terms of personal experience will be shared in a bit. So I will leave here the word to Marge that I would like for her to start her presentation or her, I would say, story, and then I will go with mine. So please, Marge.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I wanted to say I saw already that some of you are using the chat. Whenever you have a question, please feel free to write it into the chat or raise your hand so that we can give you the word and we can answer to your doubts or curiosity. So as Ettore was saying, we wanted to give you a little bit of introduction on how we decided to actually join Amazon and join our current position. As I was saying, my current position is brand specialist, so one of the two that we are presenting today to you. So I'm really looking forward to your questions. Basically, I was coming to the sales world and I was very happy about this aspect of my job. However, I thought it was not entirely what I wanted to learn at that moment. So basically, it was not complete enough for what I wanted to learn at that period of my career. Thus, I decided to join Amazon as brand specialist because it is a position that is a 360-degree position, such as a consultant toward our brands or partners. Basically, the way we work let us follow our partners that we call vendors in this case, in the retail side. Let us follow them, I was saying, in all the aspects that relate to their presence in Amazon. Basically, what we do is controlling their inputs in order to, or which are the factors that make them grow into the platform. So this is what was actually really attracting me, because was letting me touch different points of the vendor growth. I started a little bit more than 1 year ago. And I actually had the chance to see two different categories. So in the first period in 6 months, I was responsible for electronics and camera, and then I switched to TV, home entertainment. Dynamics are very different, but there is always this approach to be a consultant for our vendors to make them grow together with us. So this is something that I really appreciate and value in my daily work, and I can see it in every day. Then another thing that I really value about my current position is that I can really measure what is going on in the market, what we are doing for our partners, and actually the goals that we are achieving. So everything is really measurable. And this is thanks to the two aspects of our daily work. One is the analytical part. So we really look for analytical-based people that are interested in measure objectives, trends, and to see where we are toward our goals. And the other part is the negotiational and relational part, which is as important as the first one, that they go together. So the combination of these two aspects is not really, is quite rare to find in one position such as this one, which is kind of a junior position. So this was something that really, really interested me. I would say these are the things that comes to my mind when I think of the main reasons why I joined this company in this particular role. So I leave the word to Ettore, who also is in another position, so you can have also his example.
Yeah, thanks, Marge. So, guys, as was saying, Margherita, my main reason why I joined Amazon was because I was doing something, I would say, more specific into marketing. So I was working, not in Italy, I was working around the world for a company, trying to develop like their marketing strategy. But then at one point, I recognized that I would have loved to have more visibility on more aspects of the job life or the business. So I just started to look around, and I basically found out that Amazon could have gave to me the possibility to work on, I would say, more aspects, because as I was saying before, the position of brand specialist is giving to us the possibility to work around finance, marketing, in-stock supply, logistics, and of course also on the commercial part, because of course that part is very important too, because of course you need to negotiate, you need to speak with your vendor, in order to make your customer happy, to create promotion for your customer. So when I recognized that, I was like, okay, but I will need to change my, I will need to change my path to my success, I would say. So basically, I applied for Amazon. So and I joined Amazon 3 years, more or less, and few months ago, where I started as a brand specialist for the PC team, where basically I was managing all vendor or some vendors that were producing monitors, notebook, and tablet. Then a few months ago, like I would say less than 1 year ago, I got promoted, and actually I became the team leader of the same categories where I was doing the brand specialist. So now I'm like, I would say, the manager of the person of the team where I was working before. More or less, that's I would say that's my experience. And another important aspect is like this. What I found out is that Amazon is able to push you very hard in order to do always better, even because as I could say that you can see here, we are very young. So we are people that are young. We are old guys. So there is that kind of good environment in the office where you can join the office and be happy to be there because you are able to install more relationship with your colleagues. So it's something that is not easy to find, and this is my personal experience and what I'm seeing every day in Amazon. So apart from that, so from here, I would leave again to Marge that will speak to you about the recruiting process. So please, Marge,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes, thank you. It's quite hard because I cannot see you, so I cannot actually interact you, but I'm curious about your interest. So if you're more interested in an internship or in a fixed role, so if you can write it in the chat, I can have an idea while talking so that I know where to focus my attention while talking without losing or wasting your time. So basically, I'm going to deep dive into the two main positions that are now open, and we are referring to in this meeting. As I already wrote into the chat, of course, there are many other positions open at the moment, and you can check them in the Amazon.jobs website, where you can find all the specificities. And of course, if you have questions, you can reach out to us later on. For the moment, I will focus on the two open positions, as Ettore already mentioned, which are one, the business development intern, so an internship position, and the other one, a graduate program position, such as brand specialist. I will start with the business development intern position, since I'm seeing that many of you are looking for internship, so I'm happy to answer to your doubts. Basically, the business development position is a various position in the sense that it can include one of the different core business areas that we have in Amazon. So this means retail, where me and Ettore work, but also the merchant part, so the marketplace part, Prime Video, Prime Now, Amazon Fresh, Amazon Advertising, etc. Basically, the idea here is that the priority of the internet will be to work backward from the customer. Where we say that we are a customer-centric company, we actually mean it. So we start from the customer, we analyze the pain points and things that actually are working to the customer. And starting from them, we analyze which opportunities we have to, let's say, increase the satisfaction of our customer, which still is the center of our business. So basically, the responsibilities of the intern will be to develop the analytical and problem-solving skills that are needed to solve customer issues and to exploit every opportunities that there are on the market. Often, there will be also the possibility to support vendor managers or senior position in developing a specific project that can be related to Amazon Vendor Service or other areas that are still very important to grow as a company in a particular area. So actually, your impact will be seen really, really concretely. So that's what is really relevant about this. Of course, after the internship period, which can go from 3 to 6 months, there is the possibility to continue a path into the company if both, let's say, willingness are matched, and there is not the, let's say, the mandatory instruction to continue in the same area where you did your internship, but still, if you have the potential, you can continue grow with us and stay with us into the company. So this is basically the first role, the one that I wanted to introduce you regarding the internship role. I'm seeing some questions, and we will follow up with the answers in the Q&A part. The second role has already been explained mostly by Ettore, but I will touch it very briefly. It's the business development graduate. In this case, the position is the one of the brand specialist, e-commerce manager. So basically, as we were both saying, it is a 360 consultant role in which the brand specialist acts on different leverages that Ettore mentioned before, which we call inputs, that are basically the factors that help us and the vendor, so our partner, to grow together. So we check their selection. For example, if we see that on the market there is selection that Amazon does not have, we ask why, and we try to list it, because it's important for us to give to the customer the bigger selection as possible. We check availability, because for us, one of the pillars is to always have our goods in stock. When a customer goes to Amazon, is expecting to find actually the product. So that's what we also make sure with our vendor on a daily basis. And we also work on the leverages such as the traffic and the conversion one, in order to make sure that not only the customer goes on the website and find the good, but actually finalize the purchase, and the sellout is actually made. This role, as I was saying before, gives you the possibility to see on a 360 degree the Amazon world, also because it has different touch points with different parts of Amazon that you can discover on a daily basis, also speaking with people from different levels. So it's quite a comprehensive role. So going to the recruiting process, the slide that you're already seeing, for both positions, the recruiting process is quite similar. So basically, at first, there is a resume review, where there is the first resume screening, basically. If this is passed, we go to an online test. This online test for us is very important because it gives us the possibility to assess the fit with our internal culture. Something that probably we didn't touch till now is the fact that in Amazon, the cultural environment is really, really important. We base everything on something that we call leadership principles, that are principles of conduct, let's say, that we find in the everyday job. So that's why, as a first step after the CV screening, we actually test these. Once passing it, we go to the final panel. The final panel is made of 3 interviews, where we test again the leadership principle through behavioral questions, the classic one with the STAR model that you probably know, and a business case based on Amazon, so on Amazon specific, that can test you also on the analytical part in particular. So that's basically it for the recruiting process and the 2 positions open. Now I think we can go to the Q&A section. I expect you to have a lot of questions since we talk a lot about many topics, and we are here to answer to whatever question you have. Maybe I can start with the chat, since I saw some questions about internship. Okay, so I see that you are asking if there is a legal internship in Milan. So as I was saying today, we wanted to focus our attention on these 2 positions that are the business development position, both internship and fixed role. But in the Amazon.jobs website, you can find the different other positions. I'm pretty sure that there is a legal internship as well, but in order not to say something that is not aligned with the current situation, because every day the website changes, I advise you to check there, Silvia. Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Maggie. Of course.
Ok. I was going to
Alessandra voleva
another...
chiedere la parola, scusa Margherita, dimmi te.
Certo, Carlo.
Sì, buon pomeriggio, mi sentite?
Yep.
Sì.
Ok. E vorrei sapere cortesemente, dato che come avevo appunto proposto, insomma, all'inizio sono orientata, provengo dal customer service, quindi si parla di mercati della GDO e del biomedicale, dove ho potuto comunque affrontare il 360 gradi il focus che è quello del cliente. Volevo capire un attimino, ecco, nell'area del Lazio, stando a Roma per ora, per iniziare a approcciarmi, insomma, nell'ambito human resource, se ci sono possibilità e posizioni ovviamente aperte, o se ci saranno prossimamente, insomma, di esigenza al prossimo anno. Anche nel lato ovviamente vendite, customer service e sales. Anche marketing, ovviamente. Grazie mille.
Okay. Alessandra, if you don't mind, I will switch to English, since there are a lot of people that do not speak Italian. Is it fine for you?
Excuse me.
Okay. No worries. Basically, Alexandra was asking about the customer service and sales positions. As I was mentioning before, actually, today we are here specifically to talk about these two roles we are focusing our attention on. So in order not to give you information that might not be updated, since the environment is very dynamic and changes every day, I suggest you to check for specific roles in specific areas, such as your inquiry, in Amazon.jobs website, so that you can see every position updated, and you can also check if the specificities are actually the ones that you are looking for.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so I was going on with the chat. Okay, I was seeing Alice, I think, that is saying that she's not very fluent in Italian, but still learning. Well, first of all, as Ettore was already mentioning, English is the first language that we speak at a company side. However, to speak with our customers, we need to speak the language of the marketplace, meaning that if you are applying for Italy, you actually do need to speak Italian, as well as if you are applying for Spain, Spanish. And now, like, just by reading this, I don't know which level of Italian you are in, but maybe you can specify it a little bit better. For sure, the language of the marketplace is a requirement for the business development graduate program. I'm sure you can find the positions also in your marketplace anyway.
Ok, anche Sergio la parola.
Sergio?
Oh, yes, I tried to open my microphone. Hello to everyone. I would like to know if there is any limit of age for internship position. Thank you.
Thanks, Sergio, for the question. Actually, this is a very good question. Let me quickly check if the requirements have changed. Basically, it's not about age, I would say. It's more about the fact that you need to currently be enrolled in a bachelor or master's degree program, or having finished your studies not more than 6 months ago. So basically, it's not about the age, but more about the compliance with the university path.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, I go on with some chat. If you want to take the word, of course, we are free. We are ready. Okay, there are many. So I will start with this one. Are the interviews in English or in Italian? The interviews are normally a mix of both. So as I was saying, English is like mandatory to work in the company, because basically in the day-to-day activities, all the emails and main communications are in English language. So I would say that it will be a mix of the two languages. What kind of experience do you expect a candidate to have for the fixed term position? This is a very good question. Actually, what we expect is for you to be in the final year of your bachelor or master's degree, or just graduated, so in the last 6 months. So this is what we expect. We also expect fluency both in Italian and in English, as I was saying before. One for the internal communication and the other one especially for the external ones. And I would say that's it. As for the degrees, we prefer economics, management, engineering, or related to these 3 areas. So that's what we expect. In this position, since it's a junior position, we don't look for specific other, let's say, skills or capabilities, but we look for the potential to develop them together in the company. Of course, we expect you to have both analytical skills and a structural way of thinking, and let's say the willingness to develop also the relational part, that are the 2 main, let's say, parts of this job.
Yeah, and that's Marge was saying, for us the most important aspect over there is we need to, even if you guys do not have like a lot of work experience, for us the most important part is that there is we see something that is coachable for you. It's something that I mean, you don't have like experience, but we see that you can learn a lot and you can become the right person for Amazon work. So it's not something that is mandatory. I mean, like, for example, I didn't have like 6 months internship or 6 months work experience, but it's more related to the approach that you do have in your life and in your like university experience. A lot of time it happens to us that we do interviews to people that just finished their experience in the university, but I mean, we see the potential in them, so we hire them. It's not something related to how many work experience or how many times do you have in terms of work experience, but how easy could be and coachable will be your area or your needs and for us. That's it. Sorry, Margie, for jumping in.
No, thank you. Thank you, actually. I will continue with the chat if nobody jumps in talking. Do you recommend applying to multiple positions or just one in your company? Well, that's, I would say, it's a general question, like when applying to a company. It's, I have mixed feelings about this answer, in the sense that normally, in general, as a personal advice, I would say, not really talking about Amazon, but more as a personal advice, I suggest you to really focus on the position you are more interested in. So I expect you to apply for 1-2 positions at a maximum, because I find it difficult that you could be interested in more than 3-4 positions. So that's my personal advice. Also, this relates to your motivation, right? So if you apply for 5 positions, maybe the motivation in one of each is not that strong. What we really value is also your motivation. So I suggest you to apply to 1 or 2 roles that can be maybe even similar, and this makes sense. So this is my personal suggestion.
Yeah, that's a good point, Margie, but also I would like just add one small point, which is important also. I mean, we do have, as you know, and as you can imagine, we have an HR department. Of course, when they receive the curriculum or the resume, is for a lot of times is for one position. But then, of course, if that curriculum is not fitting very well to the position where the candidate has applied, HR will switch those kind of those curriculum or resume to other positions. So it may be that maybe you guys apply for intern role, and then HR seeing your curriculum vitae could say to you like, okay, but I don't think you're gonna be the best fit for internship, but it may be that you could go ahead with the interview on brand specialist side. So it's not something that if you apply to one role, is going to close the door to other positions that we do have open. So we do have also those kind of process in place in order to ensure, of course, that we don't miss people that we consider very strong and important for our growth.
Totally correct. What are the smart working policies at Amazon? Well, as you probably have read, at a certain point, we were supposed to go back to the office, as for Italy, I'm speaking about, in January, 3 days per week, while 2 days we were going to stay in smart working. However, at the moment there was change in this position, and we are still waiting to have more guidelines on this. Basically, it will be at a director's base, and so for the moment we don't have a clear indication to give you. Smart working will be still in place. We don't know exactly for how many days per week or per month, but for sure it will be a mixed combination of smart working and going to the office likely. For the moment, that's what we can say till now. Okay, so Sarah. Basically, Sarah, to summarize the question, is saying that she had great results at university, but she didn't have the chance to find internship. As Ettore was saying, we are not actually specifically looking for internship to consider a candidate for another role. What we are looking for is potential and the analytical and cultural side that we are looking for. So this is not for sure a blocker. I suggest you, Sarah, to apply. Maybe you can start from the internship position. So even more for this position, we are not expecting you to have another experience before. So no worries. Okay, so Marco is saying he's graduated in master's degree in October 2019, and he has 2 years of experience. Can't apply for internship, correct? Is your time experience enough to apply for a fixed position? I would say so. I don't know which experience do you have exactly, but if you have 2 years, as you are saying, of experience, 2 years of work, why not? The business development graduate is still a junior position, so for sure you are eligible to apply. Yes. To start working on January, how early do you suggest to apply? Maybe Ettore has more visibility on this. From my side, I would say that once you start the process, you don't have let's say a deadline to start working. Of course, priorities are given to the ones that are available to work the sooner, right? Once the process is over. But if you are looking for January, I think that now we are half of October, you are at the right time to apply, because even if you end the process soon and everything goes fine, you can still indicate and flag to the HR department that you will be able to start in January. So no problem.
Yeah, I agree with guys. Matteo, I agree with Mark. That should be the right moment to apply in order to be able to join the company, if successful, of course, on January. Because more or less from applying moments, we will take like 1 week or something more just to review your resume, and then of course there will be eventually an interview on site, which actually is virtual. But if everything will work properly, there will be from the offer time to the starting time or starting date more or less 1 month. So more or less it's gonna be from the applying moments to entering into the office. There will be more or less 1 month and a half. So it will be the perfect time to apply.
Great. Can second-year bachelor's students apply for internship? That's a tricky one. Yes, in some cases, I would say so, in the sense that for internship, as I said, the requirements are the ones that I was mentioning before. So if you are currently enrolled in a bachelor's or master degrees, you can definitely apply. If you are able to do both, for sure. I don't see other. I think we covered mainly the questions. Let me check again. Yeah, I think we covered them all. I don't know if you have other questions or you can...
Those people that apply to the Career Week portal, when will receive the feedback for getting an interview? Yes, okay. So that's a good question. So basically, as you may imagine, we are receiving a lot of course, we do have a lot of open position, but on the other hand, we do have a lot of, I would say, application. So there is not a right timeline that we communicate to you, but usually it may be 1 week, since from 1 week to 2 weeks, I would say, no more than these ATA. So those weeks, it should be usually the maximum. Of course, then it depends also a bit on how many or resume we are receiving from an HR standpoint. Then, guys, of course, so also the question about LinkedIn. So, of course, I mean, before, of course, you can, I would say, add us on LinkedIn. I mean, we are guys as you, we are people as you, so of course we can interact on LinkedIn. Then I don't know if you guys have any other question about, I don't know.
Do you suggest any specific resources to consult in order to prepare for the selection process? Well, there are no specific resources, let's say, that we suggest, but as I was mentioning before while talking about the recruiting process, it is mainly about your fit with our culture. What does this mean? Leadership principles are at the basis of our recruiting process. So I really suggest you to deep dive into those and study them in a certain sense and understand if they are aligned with you and your expectations. This could be the best way to prepare. Then, of course, there is an analytical part, which is the business case one, but you will receive instructions about it once you go on to the process. So no worries, after the online test, you will receive an email and also a Q&A call with the HR partner in which they will explain to you better about the case. It's not something that you really actually need to prepare.
Yep. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of questions about, like, for example, can you write the website link for smart working on remote open position? But it's not clear what do you guys mean. Like, if there is some position that is like only for smart worker. Because actually, I mean, I don't know if I will reply to you, but actually, as Margherita was saying before, we do not have, I mean, a strict policy to follow because our directors and our worldwide leadership is taking the decision right now. But I mean, we do not have a clear policy starting from January. So it may be that the whole position that we do have open could be like into a smart work environment or not. But of course, I mean, starting from or speaking from an experience, a working experience that we are facing right now, of course, there are smart working position because actually, as you can see, we are in smart working. I mean, we are not in the office. But on the same end, for us, it's also pretty important to be sometimes in the office. So there is not something that or there should not be something that is not required at any time to be in the office. So there may be some meeting with the partner, with the customers, vendors, or internal meeting then they require your presence in the office. But as of now, we do not have a strict policy. I mean, no, we are working in order to understand our future, I would say. If we need to be in the office 3 times a week, or we can also not be 3 times a week, but maybe once a week or 5 days a month. So they are still working on it, and they will provide us more information going forward. Do we need to?
Exactly. Sorry. I was looking at Elia's message. Do we need to reapply into Amazon Jobs, or is it enough the CV we send through the career day of Cattolica? No, actually, it is correct to send the CV through the career day of Cattolica. I would say it's also the best way for you to do so. When I was referring to Amazon Jobs, was in order for you to find every position that we are not specifically talking about today here. All right, so before use your Cattolica, let's say, path to send your CV. This is the priority, let's say, the prioritized path to follow.
So guys, from what I'm seeing, no more question from your side. So maybe we could wait like 1 minute more in order to see if some question more come up. Other way, we will leave you back those 30 minutes. And of course, eventually, any question could come to your mind. Of course, please feel free to ask those questions on LinkedIn. We will be replying promptly. Okay.
Totally. Maybe Carlo, we can wait 2 more minutes and then.
I agree. Yeah, and then. Okay, so guys, I think that there are no further questions. So first of all, thank you all for participating to this meeting. It was very interesting also from our point of view. It's always useful for us to meet new minds and new people. So please feel free to join us and please apply to Amazon Work. Again, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks to Cattolica and thanks to Carlo for organizing this. I hope to see you soon and good luck for your career anyway.
Thank you a lot again to everybody, and thanks Carlo and Cattolica for having us here today.
Bye-bye. Have a great weekend, guys.